Hey everybody, I'm Tim Ward and welcome back to Garden Sense. Well, folks, last week's email about Gallery being out of stock until the fall generated a ton of questions, and we do appreciate that. I understand the frustration that a lot of you are feeling, but at this point, there's nothing that we can do. That being said, I did get a lot of questions related to other topics outside of Gallery, and so those are going to be the focus of today's video podcast here on April 1st. So let's buckle up, everybody, and jump right in. The first question for today is from Art. Tim, our 5-year-old yellow lab, loves playing in the front yard with other dogs in the neighborhood. Since late fall and over the winter, they have made a huge mess of the yard. I have that portion of the yard fenced off as I get ready to put seed down. I use Barenbrug seed and have some to put down. Should I mix a rye or other fast germinating seed down with the Barenbrug to help the area recover more quickly? So good question, and although it's very popular to mix in a rye or another fast germinating grass seed, I wouldn't do it. Barenbrug is a really high quality grass seed, and I don't want anything else in my Barenbrug lawn. So if it were me, no, I would not include any other type of seed, and I would just deal with it. I mean, we're talking probably 7 to 10 days at the most between some of the fastest germinating seed on the market and when your Barenbrug lawn will come in. And for me, the benefits do not outweigh the cost. I don't want any other types of grass mixed in with my Barenbrug lawn. I don't want them competing for nutrition, for space, anything like that. So if it were me, I would just put down that Barenbrug seed and just wait those couple of extra days for it to come in. The next question is from Ed. Dear Tim, we had a Japanese maple planted in our backyard late last fall. What do you recommend for feeding/nurturing it as spring approaches? All right, so let's talk about pruning first. You typically don't want to do any heavy pruning on a Japanese maple once it breaks dormancy and you start to see buds. So if it is still dormant, you're okay to do some pruning now. If it's already started to bud out, I would wait unless you see any evidence of diseases. A couple of very light prunes here and there throughout the season are going to be okay, but for your heavy pruning, you need that tree to be dormant. And so we're talking, late winter, very early spring would be the best time to do any type of real heavy pruning. Now, in terms of fertilization, I would definitely put down plant trust, and I would do it very, very soon. Once you get plant trust down, again, those roots are really going to take in that nutrition, and you should start to see some really, really gorgeous foliage, which is what Japanese maples are known for, start to come out. And I really would put that plant trust down pretty soon. Now, you mentioned that you planted it in the fall, so one other thing that I would recommend would be making sure you get kickstart down a couple of times over the course of the spring and the summer. Again, all that's going to do is provide that root system with the right amount of nutrition to really strengthen it, which is then going to allow the root system to take in even more plant trust. Obviously, when it comes to kickstart, when it comes to plant trust, you can find it over at rosesonline.com. The last question for today is from Mark. Hello, Tim. I enjoy your show and have been using your products to treat my lawn for the past several years. I applied Turf Trust fertilizer and broadleaf weed control 2 weeks ago and crabgrass control yesterday. Every spring I get this same weed over my lawn. When can I apply Image to take them out? Okay, so let's talk about the weed first. This is actually chickweed. And the reason that it comes up every year around this time, despite you putting down Gallery and Dimension in the spring, is because this is actually what's called a winter weed. And to prevent this, you actually need to put down Gallery in fall. So we always recommend 2 applications of Gallery, and ideally what you would be doing is like mid-September timeframe. If you are not overseeding, you would put down Gallery, again, middle of October at the very, very latest to prevent something like a chickweed. If you're overseeding, which a lot of people do, you are going to miss that opportunity to put down Gallery at that time frame. And so what ends up happening is you put Gallery down, mid-November, something like that. It's still effective. It's just not really effective against chickweed. So in terms of getting rid of it, I mean, as long as your temps are above 60 degrees, you can go ahead and put Image down now. Image will kill it, but understand it's actually most likely going to die off here in the next couple of weeks anyway. So if it were me, and again, if you're not overseeding, you put your gallery down like you already did 2 weeks ago. And then end of September, I would put down a second application of Gallery, which is going to help prevent that chickweed from popping up like you're seeing now. But it's already in your yard, so go ahead and use Image. Again, as long as it's, over 60 degrees and it's actively growing, you're going to be able to use, Image Weed Killer to effectively kill it. All right, everybody, just a couple final thoughts before we wrap up this April 1st video podcast. Folks, now is the time to be fertilizing your lawn. I know we talked a lot about it with the triple play. The triple play is not around anymore, but it's only April 1st. So if you have not fertilize your lawn, then make sure you head over to rosensonline.com and pick up a couple of bags of Turf Trust fertilizer. Use the maintenance, use the starter, whatever you can get your hands on. But right now your lawn is craving to be fed. Even if you have a warm season grass, it's going to start turning green here. If it's not already doing it now, it's going to be in the next couple of weeks. So again, head over to Rosens Online and make sure you pick up some Turf Trust fertilizer. You'll be really glad you did. Folks, I also want to remind you that Kickstart is something that you should always have on hand because you can use it on any plant that you're trying to care for. Your trees, your shrubs, you can use it on your lawn, you can use it in your veggie garden. I'm sure some of you are going to be putting in a veggie garden here in the next month or so. Again, it's a really, really versatile product. It works with your indoor plants. So again, head over to rosensonline.com and make sure you pick up a bottle of Kickstart. Now, folks, I'm not trying to create a mad rush on anything, but we are running a little bit low on Plant Trust. We are trying to work with ProTrust to get some more in, but if you have some trees or shrubs that need to be fed this spring, then make sure you head over to rosensonline.com right now and get Plant Trust. It's a highly effective, slow release fertilizer. It's one of our top selling products. Again, we don't have a ton of it on hand. We are trying to get more, but again, with just the situation with some of the manufacturing that's going on right now, it could be tough. We might not be able to get some more in for 30, 60 days. We just don't know. So make sure you head over to Rosens Online and grab what you can while you can in terms of Plant Trust. Folks, I'm getting inundated now with emails because the weather is warming up, and frankly, we love it. We know that you have a lot of questions out there, and we absolutely love being the source of information that you need to keep your lawn looking healthy, to keep your gardens looking great. So if you've got questions about your lawns, your gardens, your indoor plants, your trees, your shrubs, whatever, send an email directly to me, tim@rosensonline.com. If I receive that email, I promise that I will respond. And the good news is I am all caught up. I got caught up late last week in terms of all the emails that had been accumulated over the course of the last couple of weeks and the 4 or 5 days I was out with that power outage. So we should be good to go. So again, send your email directly to me, tim@rosensonline.com. We use those questions to help build this program each week. So keep them coming. Folks, I want to thank you again for giving us just a couple of minutes on this April 1st to talk to you a little bit about your questions, answer some of your questions, and give you some really pertinent information. It means a lot to us, the time that you give us each and every week. I hope that you folks have an amazing rest of the week. God bless.